Guy. So, hey, Kenya.
Hey.
All righty. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Still there? 212. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Okay. We almost ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me change the view. There we go. I'll be able to edit that.
Okay.
All right. So.
Angelo White, Barefoot Pookie podcast. And today's host is Kenya Ware. And Kenya Ware is the most exciting woman that I've come to know as far as in the industry. She's the hardest working woman in the industry, and it proves that by all the success that she has done in the industry, in the movie industry, and as far as the record industry. Kenya Ware, filmmaker, and wonderful woman. How are you?
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
Yes. So Kenya, after doing some remarkable, I wouldn't say investigation, but you've been everywhere. And I'm just, it touches my heart to know that I know somebody. And during my first interview, I have the pleasure of having you with all your experience and all your knowledge and wisdom that you can give back to the community, and especially the things that you're doing,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So can we start off at your beginning with your desire to do film?
Okay, yeah. I guess the first time I ever, with these two eyes, witnessed television was Good Times. The show Good Times. I was probably around 7 years old, and my grandmother was good friends with the character Rolona. That's Janet Dubois.
Yes.
And her granddaughter and I were both about 6, 7 years old. And the two of them would get us, we would go up to the tapings, and they wouldn't let us in the live audience. We would have to sit backstage and playing her wigs and trying to make up. And then we end up meeting Janet Jackson and Kim Fields. And they were probably a couple of years older than us, maybe like at 8 and 9. And that was the first time me seeing African Americans acting, putting on wigs, makeup, all that. Michael, I used to have a crush on him when I would see him on Good Times. And that was my first, the first moment that I, got to see Black people playing these characters. I remember the movie Claudine, how fascinated I was with that, but then being on set. So my grandmother was, she knew everybody in the industry. Her sister, Gwen, used to work for Motown. So I was kind of around all of that. I mean, growing up, I remember 7 years old being at the studio when the Gap Band was recording. I remember my mother knew the Commodores, and we'd be at the studios, and I was around all of this life. Donna Summers was my grandmother's friend. So I kind of grew up in this. So when I became an adult, it was kind of second, it was my second mind that I was going to do something in the industry. I didn't know what, but I knew I was going to do something.
Right. So you kind of like mixed the two together, huh? With living life and putting it on the big screen.
Yeah, and then getting into the music side, meeting, all the Death Row family, the Ruthless family, and you kind of combine that together. My first love was film. I was around music, but I wanted to incorporate both of them. How could we incorporate the music and the film together?
Wow.
So, doing the clothing, being behind the scenes, but always incorporating the music with it, because I am hip hop. But I am a fashion, a fashion artist as well.
Yes. So that's amazing. So at that moment, as you begin to grow, and being around all this good environment, at what point after you got into the music industry that you decided, what influenced you? Was it what influenced you to get from rapping
Mhm.
to movies, what influenced you? I know you said because you've been around it, but what
Right.
made you want to do the things that you're doing?
Right.
You know?
I think what really pushed me to get away from it, it was probably when Tupac died, because I was over there dressing them, and the love for the music kind of died away because Tupac was gone, and I needed to do something else. I needed to get away from the music scene, because it felt like it didn't feel good anymore.
Right.
And then I remember I started working. If you guys remember this clothing line out of New York called Mecca USA,
Mhm.
I got hired to work in New York probably like in 97, 98.
Okay.
And that got me into being around like Mecca, just being with that brand.
Hmm.
I was pushed to meet, I was pushed to dress Destiny Child and John B
Yeah.
and everybody. That kind of put me in a plateau back in the music, but I'm dressing them now.
Right.
I'm
Right.
dressing them. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember being backstage when little Beyonce and all of them. I'm like, okay, you guys got to put these dresses on. This is in 98 at the John B concert. And I'm like, put these dresses on, and Beyonce and all they were putting the stuff on. They were new to the game. And here
Right.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not new, but this is a new venture.
Yes.
And it took a life of its own. The music kind of died down, and I wanted to learn about doing it on television and film.
Mm.
And I had to get into this union. And they told me, I remember they told me it's a 10-year waiting list to get in. I'm like, not with my hustle. I'm not waiting 10 years. I
Yeah.
was in the union. I got in the union within 2 weeks.
Mm.
I
Goodness.
knew how to finesse it.
Yes.
And I got in, and my first job in the union, the Motion Pictures Costumers Union, was an MTV show.
Wow.
And then that thing opened up to Girlfriends, to Friday After Next, to Johnson Family Vacation, to Cedric the Entertainer show, Steve Harvey stuff. I
Mm.
just kept on working on
Yes.
everything, like
Yeah.
from like 99 on.
It's a long time. It's
Yeah.
2 decades, a lot of experience. A lot
Yeah.
of hours, yeah.
And I look at sometimes I just go on my online resume, and I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I've done everything. I've done the Fast and the Furious. I've done the Big Mama's House. I've done just a little bit of Three Stooges. I'm like,
Mm.
wow. I mean, sometimes you have to say, wow,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and and, and in the midst of that, Pookie, I'm still the love for being my own boss, because I come from a family of entrepreneurs.
Right.
My
Yes.
grandfather opened up his first printing shop in the 50s, and it still is open to this day. My uncle runs it. My
Amazing.
mom had her own business. So I knew that I needed to be my own boss. And that's when the filming came in. And
Hmm.
I used to help, everywhere I used to go, I used to have a camera in my hand. And
Yes.
I'm like, Doug, I need to interview you. I need to interview you. And I knew that, this film thing, it was gonna take a life of its own.
Right. Yes. Yes. That's amazing. You know. And so the I like to give a little bit of try to get a little bit of understanding about characters, you know, of the a little insight about the characters that are chosen and through the actors, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, what happens is when you have a movie, let's just say, okay, let's say New Jack City. And you're gonna have to develop this character, Nino Brown. So
Mhm.
you know that he's gonna be from New York, a New York, and it's gonna take place probably like in the 90s. So you think about what they're wearing. That was current times in. And
Mhm.
he's a drug dealer, so he's gonna look better than everybody. He's
Mhm.
gonna have the most amount of money. So when you deal with clothing for me, and I
Mhm.
have a character like that, I'm going to base that on the fact that who he is. He's a drug dealer. He's rich. He's a boss. So you kind of take that and dress him accordingly. And
Mhm.
everybody below him is going to be this a tad bit. They're not going to be as snazzy as him, because
That's
he's the
fashion.
boss.
Yes.
So you kind of build your characters every movie is different.
Mhm.
Every character is different. And I try to tell people, when you have a character, you are now that character. You're not yourself.
Mhm.
When we did Straight Outta Compton, I remember, Dr. Dre, He's still, back in the days, he was in Levi's and Adidas,
Yeah.
but he wanted his character to be in Hugo Boss. And we had to explain to him, okay, you're Dre now.
Yes.
Yeah, you are Hugo Boss. You are Mr. Beats, but Dre in the 80s, he was barely getting by. He didn't have a lot. He didn't have a lot of money. He was still hungry. So
Mhm.
you have to channel back into where your hunger is.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so every character is different. I mean, anything I work on is different. And then even when now that I'm in the front seat and I'm producing,
Mm.
now I have to choose characters. I have to find actors that are going to fit this role. Find the person that will it will give us the maximum impact.
Mhm.
Like if I'm choosing a barefoot Pookie character, oh my God, he has to be this character. He has to be tall. He has to be a matter of fact. He has to be able to take control. I'm gonna study this guy. I want to know if he can handle this. He's going to carry a lot on his back. Can
Mhm.
this guy do that? He can't be timid. He has to be about that life at all cost.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
really in looking for a character, you got to really dig deep.
Mhm. I see the invitation to characters, actors that the last movie with the twins, I mean, with the sisters, tennis
Yeah.
sisters. Yes, I loved
Oh
it. Just a
yeah.
part of it, just the part that I saw.
Yeah, the Venus and Serena story. Fun fact on that. So the executive producer, I'm talking about the guy who runs everything. He hired me on Straight Outta Compton, and he brought me handpicked to the Venus and Serena story. And he says, "Kenya, you coming on here because you made my characters look great in Straight Outta Compton. I want you to do the same thing for this movie." So he wanted me to take Venus and Serena's older sister. It's Venus Serena and this Lindrea is the third one in line. He said, take her under your wings, show her everything you know, let her go everywhere you go. She's gonna be with you all this whole movie. And I had one of the sisters with me, and I took her on. We went and shot that whole show. So everything you see in that movie, we have along with this amazing designer that I work with, Sharon Davis. She did The Help, she did Django. So I work with the top tier. I work with the Oscar winning people. Like most of the time I'm working with somebody on that level.
Yeah,
So
I'm glad.
it's
Yeah.
going to be a brilliant movie.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. So what's the next attempt to make something major happen with the movie industry after Birth of the Crip is done? What's
Mm.
next? Are we going to follow through with that or what?
Oh yeah, Birth of a Crip is that's taking a life of its own. I mean, people are expecting so many great things from that, and I get feedback from that every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna have a mind of its own and go its own way. But why that's going, then I'm gonna introduce while that's going, I'm gonna introduce the ladies of Death Row, and I'm gonna take that a different way. It's not gonna be reality. We're gonna have characters with that because I think that could go
Yes.
far. And
Yeah.
that's a ladies project. That's going to be
Yes.
about a woman's point of view,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, I want to, what? I want to dig deep into dramas at that point. I want to do something along the lines of something like something that Jamie Foxx or something, one of those guys, because we have done the biopic. Raymond is the biopic. So
Mm-hmm.
now we want to do something live action, something that is this. I'm gonna figure out something, but I want it has to be bigger.
Right.
Bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So getting back into the hardest working person in showbiz, so how you take vacations, or because I've noticed you've been using what was it, Hawaii?
Yeah, I went to Hawaii. That was the good thing about working in this industry is you plan your life out. You're in control.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've never worked really a 9 to 5. I've been on Hollywood time, and Hollywood time is okay. We work, okay, we might be working 14, 15 hours a day, but we work 3 months straight, and then we go on vacation.
Yes.
Hollywood goes on vacation. I mean, most of the whole month of December, we're on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hollywood comes back about 2 weeks after New Year's,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get on the ball again.
Yes.
So, I plan my life out that way. I know like right now is work time
Mhm.
and I want to work all the way to fourth quarter. And fourth quarter kind of begins like that's probably around like October, but November. So you think you want to get as much as you can done
Yes.
so you can breeze into the holiday.
Mhm.
And then you come back January first quarter and hit them high again.
Yes. Yes. And just keep
Uh,
going forward. As
and keep on going forward, and that people need to understand ownership in this business is important because think of the movies that you used to see back in the days. Remember that army show MASH? Remember that?
right. Yes.
Those guys it's probably nobody on that actor that's alive. They're
Yes.
still making money. Their families, their
Mhm.
kids are still making money.
Yes.
That movie will go on. So guess who gets paid? The actors get paid, the producers get paid, the executive producers get paid. Those three entities can continue making money for
Mhm.
years to come.
Right.
So it's important to get yourself in that industry and own your stuff. It's
Mhm.
great working for people,
Right.
but you're making their dream come true. You have to do your own.
Right. Right. You have to become the executive producer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
beautiful thing. But I enjoy, I mean, a happy person, and it seems like you're always happy, and that type of energy, just pours off on everybody, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You got to spread love. You got to spread love. My grandmother taught me that. I mean, you spread love. People want to be around you. They want to be around good energy and positive energy. And people think they're like, "Are you ever sad and everything?" I'm like, "Man, I know after the least,
yeah,
but I'm gonna say I can tell you all about the storm, honey.
yeah.
But I can tell you how to ride above the storm because we
Come on.
all get storms of life. It's no man, but I know how to ride above it and I
Hmm.
know how to take my problems to God and not to people. So I
Right.
am you're going to see the happiness in me because I've already paid. I had prayed to God already. So I'm okay.
Amen.
I'm okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's a beautiful thing. Going everywhere, being able to go out of the country and dealing with people, and that's exciting as well, huh?
Yeah. One of my best trips I think I really love and I hold on to is when I celebrated New Year's in Paris. And it was, oh my God, it was beautiful. We went to this Mona Lisa, one of those, it was some kind of play and it was beautiful.
Mm.
And right now, I just have a list of all the places I want to go. I'm like, when this pandemic gets together, Bora Bora, I want to hit India. I want to go to the Mediterranean Sea. I want to be on the Mediterranean Sea. I want to, hit Japan.
Mm.
It's so many things. And I got to hit the motherland too. Africa
Yeah,
is on my
got
list.
you. Yes, yeah. Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kenya, I tell people I own that place. I'm like, it's mine. I own it. My name is Kenya. I own you. I
You
own
own
Kenya.
that. You're the queen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Yes, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, well, I'm just so excited. When I do my research, I mean, it's stunning, because the first time that I met Ray Washington, I'm excited by that same feeling, and I just met you, but it seemed like from all the work you've been doing that you're a type of person, that are leading our people,
Yeah.
to the promised land.
Yeah. And and you know what I believe in? I believe in helping
Hmm.
and helping people. And as you see Pookie with this documentary, with the music, I felt there's something told me you got to get these new people that need a chance because Pookie, if you
Right.
give people chances,
Hmm.
it builds them up. You got
Hmm.
to give
Come
these
on.
people an opportunity.
Right.
They want to make it. It's so
Right.
all these artists has been around for a long time. They've had their food already.
Hmm.
It's time to let somebody else eat at the
Yes.
table.
Yes. Yes. And that's a
And
beautiful thing.
yes,
And that's the whole concept about it all. You know.
yeah,
Hmm.
you got to reach back, give an opportunity because we've always been we've all been at that point where we needed a hand. This the little hand And you got to be that hand sometime, Bookie, because your blessings will come tenfold. You just got to be, you got to help. You got to help people. It'll
Yeah.
come back.
Yes, and that's how we get our blessings. And you full overflowed with them by doing the things to help the people, you know, be there for the people, you know. Yeah, because a lot of people couldn't imagine what the people go through, you know, being up under oppression and all, you know, of the system, you know. And so then when we have people like you come into our life, you know, it's like an angel. You know, and it really is. I'm not trying to flirt or anything like that.
No, I know your heart, Bookie. I know your heart.
Yes,
but you deserve it. You the thing about it is that you deserve to get your shine because you paid the cost. You have paid the cost, and you know we're gonna open the door all together. You know, because you know I've been an underdog for so long. I mean, so many men around me have tried to hold me back. That's been an issue, not the women. It's the men this afraid that I might move a little harder than them.
Yes.
But I'm like, we all got, you gotta, it's a table for everybody to eat.
Everybody can eat.
Everybody can eat. You don't need it all. Just you don't need it all. You don't need it all. You don't need all that. Let everybody eat. It's okay.
Yes, and lose all that. You know, and that's good advice to people that don't have anything. You know, to keep on driving and keep that energy going. You know.
And keep a, don't let nobody, when they tell you no, no means yes in this business. When they tell me no, that means I'm gonna push harder to get it. That means yes to me. I don't hear no. I don't hear no. That means no means okay, just keep on moving people more, just get out of my way a little bit further. Okay, let me move you out a little more.
Yeah. It reminds me of the favorite famous word about, you know, we just keep grinding and just keep moving along, you know, and stay prayed up as we do.
Yeah, you got to keep prayed up, keep those angels mounted around you, pray for the people around you, you know, but always give thanks to him. Everything that happens, you got to give your thanks. He needs to be acknowledged. He needs to know that it's because it's all him. It's not you. It's God. I didn't do anything. It's God. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. I don't take credit for anything. It's all him.
And we just do his will. And
it's his will. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. That's the thing. And as long as he keeps giving me what I need to do, I'm gonna keep on pushing for the kingdom and keep on getting people in, and you know, he's going and you know, making everybody's life easier because we just want a little easier life and to take care of our kids, the kids.
Yes, that's correctly right. Yeah. Can't do without that. Well, I'm so glad that we had this time, you know, to do the podcast. And I want to say again that, you know, you're a show in itself. So, you know, when I continue on do my research, are we still here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I continue on doing my research, you know, I'm going to enjoy these podcasts with you.
Yes.
You know.
And we're gonna have so much to tell. I mean, every time we get on here, we'll be on a new adventure.
Surely right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you and God bless you. And may you have a good evening.
You too, Barefoot Cookie. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye-bye.